Welcome to the Ask Dr. Khan show. On this show, you're just one whiteboard away from solving your health puzzle. On this show, we're going to talk about the human biological response to environmental toxins. Why some people detox well and why some people don't. And when you don't detox well, how that can lead to inflammation. You see, there's people that you must come across in your life where they smoke, they drink, they do all kind of bad stuff, and they're just fine. And there's other people who eat organic, they do everything right, and they're still not feeling great. It seems not fair, but there's a reason for it. And today, I'm going to show you why, what are some of the factors that can contribute to it, and what you can do about it, okay? Now, the thing is, there's a normal way that your body detox, and then there's a way that your body detox that may be not working as well for you. So let's start with how the body normally does it. So when we have xenobiotics, and xenobiotic is a term that describes basically environmental compounds that can actually mimic your body's chemical, that can mimic your body's action. So for example, BPA or plastic can mimic estrogen, can disrupt hormone function. These chemicals, some of them are endocrine disrupting chemicals, meaning they can throw off your hormones. That's why there's so many people have hormone imbalance, symptoms relating to hot flash, night sweats, thyroid problems, adrenal problems, female reproductive issues. Males have testosterone issues, low testosterone, and this is really common. The reason these problems are common is because we're all exposed to environmental chemicals that mess with our hormone system. So xenobiotics are these chemicals in the environment that can interfere with body function. Now, these xenobiotics, for the most part, they can be cleared by our liver detox systems. And remember, liver detox, we also call it hepatobiоtransformation. That's the medical terminology for it. What it does is that through the liver detox system, it basically clears it into a non-toxic chemical, okay? So these can be detoxed. So we have what's called metabolism, metabolized by liver. Okay, because they can be detoxed, so the liver does it. And when we say metabolize, in medical terminology, metabolism is the breakdown of something. Okay, that's what it means by metabolizing it. Okay, so these toxins are metabolized, and when they get metabolized, if you have healthy genetic expression, so this is where genetic comes in, right? Why do some people tolerate toxin well, and why some people don't? Okay, so there are certain genes that are involved in making the enzymes that help you with detoxing certain chemicals. And there are hundreds of those. And we can actually do a genetic profile to identify this. This is really the next frontier in medicine, is to take these genetic information and making it personalized to you. What does that mean to you? Because all of our genes are similar, yet there are differences. And these differences from one person to another is what makes some people able to withstand certain things better and be able to withstand certain diseases better, and other people don't do as well. So if you have healthy genetic expression, specifically in the liver biotransformation pathway, then you're gonna be better able to clear toxins from your system. And what that's gonna do is gonna get these toxins converted into polar, which are these chemicals that have positive and negative charge, which makes it easier for your body to bind into it, to detox it, convert it to polar and non-reactive. Okay, that means this chemical is not reactive. It does not cause oxidation, does not cause free radical damage. So then your body is able to eliminate it. Eliminate from body. That's a healthy response. That's what's supposed to happen, okay? Now what happens is, for some people, what they have is that they have compromised detoxification, okay? They have compromised detoxification. Let's start over here. They have compromised genetic expression. meaning either they have some genetic variant, differences in the gene that makes them less efficient, less able to detox, or the genetic expression of that, because we also know that there's epigenetics. Epigenetics means how the environment turns on and off certain genes. So we now know that the gene is not your destiny. Genes can be influenced by how you stress, how you eat, how you take care of yourself, how you don't take care of yourself. So these compromised genetic expression, either through stress, through toxin exposure, or just through simply your genetic makeup, can create a situation where you're not able to detox as well. And what's going to happen is you're going to have compromise, conversion of toxins, which means that you're not able to convert them into these polar and non-reactive compounds. Okay? And what's going to happen is now it's going to become toxic, and they're going to become reactive. When these chemical compounds are reactive, that means it's going to react with your body tissue and create damage. And we don't want that. And that's what leads to disease. So when people have disease, Western medicine is trying to treat the symptom of that disease. But what's causing the disease? Many times due to this. But when you go to your Western allopathically trained doctor, right, in a managed care model, this is never considered. I mean, when was the last time you went to your regular medical doctor in your insurance plan in a managed care setting, and they asked you, you have some kind of problem. I wonder if it's due to environmental toxins. We should do a test to test for environmental toxins. Say yes if you ever had that. Put it in the comment section. Now, I'm not talking about you're seeing a functional medicine doctor, you're seeing somebody like me who's actually into that stuff. You're just seeing your regular doctors, and you had the experience where they actually did those things for you. My guess is that for most of you, you never had that tested. You never even had that asked of you. And that's a big mistake, because this is the most common thing affecting everyone. We're all bombarded with toxins. And so this is why so many people are sick, and they're given a drug to treat the end result of that sickness instead of treating the root cause. This is a big reason why. And there may be genetic differences. And that's why some people are able to handle toxins better and other people not as well. But the good news is that we can do genetic testing. Again, this is something that your allopathic medical doctor in a Western medical model will not do. They will not do genetic testing because it's not covered by insurance. Because this has to do with optimization. It has to do with personalized medicine. And currently, Western medicine is not personalized medicine. It's cookie cutter medicine. You have a symptom. Every single person with the same headache will get the same drug for that headache. Doesn't matter what's causing the headache, you're going to get the same drug if you have a headache. That's not personalized medicine. So we can actually identify this, and this is what we do in our practice by doing these genetic tests to identify whether that is a problem. Now, what can you do with that? Well, we can't change your gene, but we know that the detox system is all nutrient driven by enzymes that require cofactors. What are nutrient cofactors? Think about nutrient cofactors is like the ingredients in a dish, right? So let's just say you're making chicken salad. And this chicken salad may have chicken, it may have 3-4 different types of greens in it. It may have some, sliced almonds. It may have some salad dressing, it may have some tomatoes, right? And if you have this chicken salad and you didn't put in the dressing, well, this chicken salad is going to taste very different, right? It's missing an ingredient. That's the cofactor. You need the cofactor to make the dish, to make things run. So you may have some genetic tendencies for you to not be able to utilize certain nutrient cofactors as well. Or you need more of a certain nutrient cofactor to make up for the fact that you have some genetic weaknesses. So by knowing that, we can actually customize your dietary intake and nutrient intake and supplementation intake and really hack the system, so to speak, to optimize function so that otherwise you may have problem. Now we may be able to shift that in a healthy physiology. That is so important. And this is something that it's the future of medicine. It's just that it's already here. It's available to you. All you have to do is give us a call at 480-999-9999 988-6269 to find out how you can get started. Or email us at info@askdrkhan.com. Okay. Now let's talk about the other form of toxin, because so far we talked about xenobiotic, but there's also toxins that's in a different category, and these are called toxicants. So now, toxicants are chemicals that your liver cannot clear. Your liver detox system cannot clear it. These will be things like mercury, certain type of metals, certain type of chemicals that are not in the xenobiotic class that your body cannot all the way detox, cannot convert into a non-reactive compound. Your body just has to deal with it. It's just there. And what happens is these reactive toxicants, they react with your body, which is bad because that creates a chemical reaction which is inflammatory and creates free radicals. It damages DNA, causes cancers, leads to disease. These reactive toxicants are quenched. They're eliminated or quenched or put out by glutathione. By glutathione redox system. And remember, in the past several episodes, I talked about glutathione in detail. Refer to episode 132 of the Ask Dr. Khan show. Go back to our Facebook timeline or go to my YouTube channel at Dr. Peter Khan. Episode 132 of the show will explain glutathione in detail, and I offered a tool, a very important tool that you can use to improve your glutathione status. Okay? This is where glutathione is so important, helping with antioxidant, helping with fighting inflammation. And as your body continue to quench these reactive toxins due to these toxicants that your body cannot clear through normal detox pathways. This is a separate type of toxin that cannot go through this pathway. You have to use glutathione redox system to clear it. What it's going to lead to is a depletion. You're going to run out because you only make so much glutathione in a day. It's not an unlimited supply. So you're going to have a depletion of glutathione. I'm going to say GSH for glutathione, short for glutathione, of the glutathione recycling system. Because your body not only makes glutathione, it can actually remake them, recycle it. Again, it's a rate limiting factor. It doesn't go on forever or unlimited supply. So you're going to have a depletion, which means you're going to run out. As your body becomes depleted of the glutathione recycling system, these reactive toxicants, okay, will cause what's called toxicant-induced loss of tolerance. Long word, short for TILT, tilt. The tilt theory is where your body builds up all these reactive compounds and it starts to cause your immune system to become dysregulated. And what that does is it will activate what's called the NF-kappa B pathway. NF-kappa B is a nuclear transcriptase factor which lives inside your nucleus of your DNA, and they basically signal inflammation. It's your body saying, hey, I sense all these toxins, I better trigger an inflammatory response to kind of put out the toxin to protect myself. So this is the final common pathway for inflammation. This equals inflammation signal. This equals inflammation. And I talked about this in detail in previous episode as well, okay? So this is so important because this is where inflammation comes from. And as we know, inflammation leads to disease. But what leads to the inflammation? This is one way that can happen through environmental toxin exposure, which we're all exposed to. It's ubiquitous. Okay? And what that's gonna lead to then is start to get into this immune system problem. Remember, I've been talking about the brain immune gut axis. And this is going to lead to this chipping away of your immune system, which is going to lead to regulatory T cell failure. regulatory T cell or your T helper 3 system. These are specific white blood cells that control your immune system to regulate how sensitive you are to environmental toxins, to different foods. So if you have loss of regulatory T cell function, that's going to lead to food sensitivity problem, where you eat things and you just get unpredictable food reaction. You never know when you're going to react to a food. Or you have food sensitivity test that shows that you're sensitive to everything under the sun because your body has lost the ability to tolerate environmental compounds, chemicals, food, and even your own tissue. This can lead to autoimmune disease. Loss of tolerance leads to autoimmune disease. Then you're going to have thyroid problems, rheumatoid arthritis, you can have MS, lupus, any number of autoimmune disease. Toxins can lead to the onset of that through this pathway. You're also going to have barrier compromise or barrier breach. What barrier are we talking about? Your intestinal barrier is going to lead to leaky gut. Your blood-brain barrier, which will lead to inflammation in the brain, which will lead to brain fog, memory loss, depression, and then lead into neurodegenerative conditions, meaning your brain cells degenerate. Your brain literally lose size. And that's when you get Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson. You're going to also activate your T helper 17 white blood cells. These are specialized white blood cells that will trigger what's called the inducible nitric oxide system. Back to the other episode I made about the Nobel Prize winning gas that you may not have heard about, which is nitric oxide. The nitric oxide, the inducible type, is a type that causes inflammation again. Lastly, it's going to cause increase in inflammatory cytokines. The best way I can explain cytokines to you is they're text messages sent by the immune system to tell your body that, hey, we have an injured area, send more soldier to the area to clean up that infection. So cytokines are text messages sent by the immune system to start a battle. And it's going to increase these text messages to trigger inflammation. So the end result of this, you're going to get inflammation, inflammation, inflammation. And inflammation will lead to joint pain, achiness, fibromyalgia. It's going to lead to digestive issues. If the inflammation is in the gut, you may have leaky gut, which may lead to malabsorption, which may lead to gas and bloating, dysbiosis. If the inflammation is at the thyroid gland, it may affect thyroid function, affect thyroid hormone conversion, thyroid hormone utilization by your cells. So you make enough thyroid hormone, but you can't use it. It can lead to hashimotos, where the immune system attacks the thyroid gland, so you don't make enough thyroid hormone. It's going to affect energy production by causing damage to the mitochondria, so you cannot make ATP, so you have fatigue. You see, these are symptoms, right? You may complain of fatigue, chronic fatigue, and brain fog, and can't concentrate. You feel depressed, lethargic. You're not motivated to do things. You don't feel like yourself anymore. That's just in the brain. You feel like you have memory loss. Then you feel like you have digestion issues. You can't tolerate any food. You always feel bloated. You always feel gassy. You may have heartburn reflux. Your bowel movement's irregular. You say, what the heck? You have GI problems. Go to a GI guy. See, everybody's treating the end result rather than connecting the dots. And then you have hormone problems because your thyroid's not working due to this inflammation, causing Hashimoto's. And then you have adrenal issues. So you don't fall asleep, you don't stay asleep, you have the afternoon crashes, your blood sugar's not steady, you can't lose weight because you have insulin resistance. So you have hormone issues. It's all connected. It's all connected. Okay? So these inflammation then will actually come back and cause more problem with this tilt. So it's a vicious cycle. Okay? The more toxicant-induced loss of tolerance you have, the more NF-kappa B gets triggered, which triggers more of this whole block of things that we talk about, which is inflammation, which come back and start this whole cycle again. Not to mention, this inflammation itself triggers more NF-kappa B. It's called an NF-kappa B self-amplifying loop. Self-amplifies means it acts more inflammation, the more NF-kappa B gets triggered, which triggers more of these inflammatory patterns, which triggers more of itself. Becomes a vicious loop, a vicious cycle. Not to mention that when you deplete glutathione at this step right here of the reaction, it can actually cause a faulty genetic expression. So maybe you have a gene that it's involved in detox that's not the right gene, or the gene has been mutated. Having depletion of glutathione can cause that gene to be expressed more, can turn on the faulty gene. So then you get even less ability to detox and cause problem right here. And remember, when you have problem here with these toxins becomes toxic or reactive, what it does is the same thing here. It's going to contribute to this toxicant loss-induced loss of tolerance, which will push into this NF-kappa B pathway, which will start this whole cycle again. Okay? So what can we do about this? Change your genes? You can't change your genes, but you can get a genetic profile to identify what is your genetic tendency. Then we can customize an eating plan and a supplementation plan for you so that these pathways that are compromised is being supported. Then you can function better. On this side, we must work on detoxification. One, teaching you to be aware of these things, where these toxins come from. Secondly, to help facilitate the removal of these toxins from your body. That's called detoxification. We use a combination of herbal supplements, lifestyle change, homeopathics. It's a multi-pronged approach, and it must be multi-pronged because that's the only way it works. We can also support glutathione by using glutathione synergy. Again, episode 132, we talked about that in detail, the product that we use that contains 2 different types of glutathione and N-acetylcysteine and in a liposomal form, and it tastes great, that actually can support this pathway. We can also work on the inflammatory side by supporting nitric oxide using nitric synergy, which is a product that specifically dampens the inducible nitric oxide, but actually boosts the 2 different nitric oxides that are good for you, that help with circulation and help with brain function. We can also dampen an inflammatory cytokines by using turmeropotency, which is a product that uses turmeric in a highly concentrated form that contains several different types of turmeric, very unique, that can dampen this inflammatory pathway. We can also support the barriers by supporting leaky gut using GI Resuscitate, which contains L-glutamine, deglycerized licorice root extract, marshmallow root extract, okra extract, synergistic formula that's all scientifically shown to heal the barrier. See, there's a lot of things that you can do. You just need a guide, a doctor who cares, who has your best interest in mind, and that can connect the dot, because I've seen over 5,000 cases. And that's why I'm making this video, to show you the clinical roadmap that I have developed, the algorithm. So we know when to go this way and when to go that way, because a lot of people, they're going everywhere each way. It's a shotgun approach, and it gets really confusing. And you may be taking supplements randomly with no data to suggest that you need that supplement. In fact, sometimes you can take the wrong supplement and make things worse, especially with autoimmune. So I implore you to use this information. Please watch the video, like and share the video with someone you love, and teach them about it. When you teach someone about it, you learn it better and start implementing steps that can help you to get better. Use some of the products that I've talked about in previous episodes. And if you need help, please don't hesitate to call us, 480-988-6269, to get more information on how to get started working with us. So we can take you through our neurometabolic integration customized coaching program to get you the best health that you deserve in 2019. Make this year the best year of your life, because every day that goes by that you don't do something about it is another day that goes by that you're not getting, you're not getting what you deserve, which is optimal health, and we can help you with that. So email us at info@askdrkhan.com or call us, and please follow us on Facebook at Hope Integrated Wellness and my YouTube channel at Dr. Peter Khan, which contains over 500 videos now. Not only contents like this, and we're gonna have more shorter content that's gonna come out that's gonna help you to make it very implementable and actionable, all to help you and your family live the best life. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next week at the Ask Dr. Khan Show. Take care.